Welcome back to tutorial 2. Let's get to the point. Now, one thing I wanted to cover before I forget is some of the controls. As we know from other games, WASD, W forward, S back, sliding with A and D, left and right. But one that's very important in this game when you're flying around is the left shift button. That's like the all stop button. And then, as you know, in space you tend to float. So get used to that button using left shift, not just S. It can be very handy. But what we want to talk about now is making some credits and how to do that. That can be tricky for somebody new, and really the easiest way to get started in this game with making some credits is through mining. So what I want to do in this tutorial is show you how to get set up with a real simple mining setup where you can go out and mine some asteroids or planets and get yourself some credits. So what we have to do first of all, we go into our inventory. We're going to want the salvage computer and the salvage module down on our build bar. So drag them down if they're not already there. And now we can work with them. Currently, let's see, make sure I'm in build mode. Okay. We're in the back of the ship here, as you can see by the arrows. So what I'd like to do is put the salvage computer right here, and this will control the mining beams. Now, as you notice, it's orange. That means it's selected. Now in this case, it automatically selects, but sometimes it may not do that for you, or it might get unselected. You might have to do some edits. So with a C button, that's how you select and unselect. So we want it selected. That's telling it we're using that button. Now we're going to go over here to the salvage module. Now I'm going to get under the ship here and place two of these over here and two over here. Now if you notice they're purple, that means that, and look at that arrow, that means it's bound to that computer, and we want that. This computer is controlling these modules. Orange to purple. Now, if they weren't selected, again, you'd have to hit C to select the computer, and then the V button, as in Victor. On each one of these modules, you'd hit V. They'll light up purple, and the arrow will connect, and that means that computer is controlling that. Now, that's important to know. I just like to, reiterate that a little bit, because using computers later in the game, you'll be using them for all sorts of things, such as setting up a warp drive or a jump drive, setting up weapons, things like that. You need a computer, and it needs to be connected to modules. And there's different things that expand the abilities of the computers, and so they need to be connected as well. So that's how you do that, orange to purple. Now if I hit C again, get that unselected so it's not distracting. Those are set up. They're ready to go, except they need power. We have nothing to power this. A lot of this stuff requires power. Now if we scroll over to that number 2, which I have 10 of, it's nice you get to start with some of these because you need power for your ship. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, left mouse, drop all of these. Now a cool thing about StarMade that I really like what the author did is you don't have to connect these in any tricky way. You put them on the ship, they power the ship. On the left side of my screen you can see now that I have, on the stats, I have 50,000 power. Not much, but for this little ship it should be okay. So now we have power, we have our computer, and we have our salvage beams modules. The other thing we're going to want is some thrust. Now a core comes with a tiny amount of thrust, but we don't want to just putter around. So select your thruster module. As you see, I have 8 of them. And they're pretty cheap if you want to buy more, but this little ship's only going to need about 4 of these right now. It's light, and that's all it'll need. Now I'm going to go back to flight mode. Okay, so now, as you see, I'm moving in the ship in flight mode. And now we need something to mine, so I'm just going to kind of look around. Oh, here is an asteroid. Test my... Oh, one step we missed. We have to load the salvage computer into our bar there. So hit T, and now you can see we have a salvage computer in here. T button under weapons. Simply drag it to a number. I recommend 1. Close this out, and now with the mouse wheel we can select the salvage computer. Now to test, I can just hit the left mouse button. It works. So let's drive on over. Now I'm going to hit the left shift. When I get close, you can see how it'll stop. Okay, left shift, all stop. Isn't that nice? Okay, get a little closer. And now we have some minerals. All of this stuff on here can be sold generally if the station wants it. But let's go for some minerals here. And as you'll find later in the game, a lot of these minerals can also be used to build things with factories. So there's a lot of crafting that can be done to build higher level things. Now I'm going to just get some items here. Notice on my number 1 slot there, the salvage computer, when I use it, I'll hold the left mouse button and it has to recharge. So see that wheel going around? Now it's ready. Okay, we got enough items to start. We'll turn around. A lot of times that pink, see that pink triangle, that'll kind of tell you your way back to the shop. Drive back to within range. Shop in range, lights up on the top right. Now we're back within range. I hit the B button, remember, for buy and sell. So we have the purchasing window open. Now here's my minerals that I have. Now if this gets full, it'll go into your inventory. Remember, hit I, and you can sell right from this box or from down here. So here's my inventory. I am going to simply take this mineral and drag it over here, and I'm going to sell it for $26.28, all of them. Okay, now notice my credits going up. I'm going to sell this and this, and you can see the money. This isn't worth much, obviously. I don't know what the deal with the minus is. I wouldn't worry about that, but I'm getting 96 credits. So it went. I had a little bit before the tutorial, but it went up more yet by selling these items. Now I'm going to keep this stuff because I want them. Close out of this, and now you see how to make some credits. Just start out slow. Now if you encounter pirates, which you will sometimes at the beginning, get near a shop like this, shop within range. Usually the game or servers will have that a safe zone from pirates. Perhaps not always, but generally that's the case. Now, the other thing you need to know is how to get around. And we're not going to get into in depth in that, but 2 buttons. The N button shows you what's in your local area, real close. As you can see, I see asteroids and a shop, my ship. So that lets you know what's real close to you, the N button. If you get red in here, that means you got some pirates around you. The other one is the P button. So we hit that, and that brings you to the gigantic universe mode. Use your mouse wheel to scroll in and out. Right mouse button to move it around like this. And it's beyond the scope of this tutorial to get into, the coordinates and things, but you can see these are all sectors. It's huge, just gigantic. So the one that's highlighted here, this is my ship. This is the sector I'm in. You can see there's planets, and there's unknown stations that you can. Now some of these are pirates, but this is how you get around to find things. Thank you for your time. Have a good one.